sixth, Onyiloye, I beg your pardon. We had our sixth Vice Chancellor in the person of Professor Shoaib Oba Abdurrahim. The seventh, Professor Shamsuddin Amali. Our eighth Vice Chancellor, Distinguished and Emeritus Professor Ishaq Olaniyan Olajide. The ninth Vice Chancellor, Professor Abdulgani Ambali. The 10th Vice Chancellor, Professor Suleiman Agenjulola Abdulkarim. And to the 11th Vice Chancellor, who is the incumbent Vice Chancellor of our university. And they served 1975, 75 to 78, 78 to 81, 81 to 85, 85 to 92, 92 to 97, 97 to 2002, 2002 to 2007, 2007 to 2012, 2012 to 2017, 2017 to 2022. And the incumbents actually commenced his own in 2022. So this is how they served from one person to the other till we got to where we are currently. I want to thank all of these founding fathers who made sure that we are standing on a very solid foundation. Please, let's put our hands together for them. Let us now talk about inaugural lectures. Well, when we're talking inaugural lectures, not only for us at the University of Ilorin, but talking inaugural lectures of any university at all in the world, it is the platform where our professors, young and old, do normally come to the fore to tell their colleagues, the university community, and the society at large how they actually got the chair, how they got the title professor. And it is also an opportunity for them, to let the whole world know what they still have up their sleeves. And this is why from time to time, we've always been having distinguished professors, young and old, coming to man this lectern to deliver their lectures. And so far as this university is concerned, we've had 274 of them in the past. And today, we are here to witness the 275th. So it's an epoch-making event, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together for all our inaugural lectures in the past. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'd like to welcome all of you. And I'd like to especially recognize the presence of our KBAC. Maybe I didn't tell you earlier, but there's the need for you to know when names are reeled out here for us to recognize some of our distinguished guests. You are one of them. You are to actually do well by clapping and appreciating them. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have His Royal Majesty Oba Evangelist Johnson Tafa Olariwaju Dada, the Oloro of Oroago. The Oloro of Oroago. Please join me to say Kábíyèsí o. Kábíyèsí ò dárí o, àtàwọn ìjòyè wọn náà wà níbí. The Oloro of Oroago. Kábíyèsí o. You're very much welcome. And please, let's welcome the chiefs. who are here with Akabiyesi also, with a clapping of hands. Please, let's do that. Adé apẹ́ lórí bàtà apẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀ o. Àárí yín pẹ́ lágbára Ọlọ́run. And we want to welcome all guests from Igbomina land. If you are from Igbomina, put your hands together for yourselves. Ọmọlúsìn ló ń kí yín o. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're very much welcome. I told you of the wonderful job that our founding fathers did to make sure that we have this university called University of Ilorin. And one of them is Professor Emeritus Luke Edungbola. Please, you can do better for Baba. He's an emeritus professor, a former deputy vice chancellor of this university. We are here today to witness the 275th in the series of inaugural lectures of this university. Baba delivered the 47th. Thank you very much, sir. And he delivered his lecture in the year 1995. How many years to this time? That's 30 years. Are you clapping or you're not clapping? Thank you very much, sir. I'd like to also welcome and recognize the presence of our immediate past Director of Academic Planning, Professor Godwin Tunde Arosoyin. Professor Arosoyin, you're welcome, sir. And seated by his side is another distinguished Professor of Geography and former Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences, Professor Fabi. Professor Fabi, you're also very much welcome. I saw earlier, I know you're still in the house. Yes, colleagues of the inaugural lecture of today, we have them there. Professor Roland Monde Kayode, that's the director of SciWest. And so also we have Professor Betsy Izogu, also the director on sugar research. You're welcome, madam. And we have another distinguished professor of mathematics. That's one subject that many students dread. But when you have somebody, a professor of it, you know that that one, distinguished Professor Timothy Opola. You're welcome, sir. You didn't clap very well. And I'd like to recognize in our midst today Pastor Mommy Olariwaju. Please join me to welcome them very well. I'm not satisfied by that. I want to welcome members of the fourth estate of the Rem de Press who are here. Thank you for always. And to all our distinguished guests, I announced earlier that this place is only for members of the press. Please, we are making use of this side and where we have our KBAC. Thank you very much. Please, let's occupy all the spaces that we have there. Architect Olajide, you are recognized. You are very much welcome. Sirs and ma'ams, as you come in, there are seats for you on this side. You're welcome. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the time is ticking, and it's about the time we kickstart the program. And please, no more movements. Shall we all rise to welcome the procession of our university scholars. Please do not stand in the way of the procession. No more movements, and do not exchange pleasantries with the procession. Well, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, by university scholars, we mean students, the very best students in their various departments. And these are students with CGPA of nothing less than 4.5. And the leadership of this university thought it wise to always have them showcased and also recognized at every of our university events. And this is not just it, it comes also with some other benefits. So we want to thank you very much for joining us to honor our university scholars. Please be seated. There are actually more than this, but because we just finished an examination, so some of them, they've gone home. They will soon be back. So thank you very much. Our university scholars, you are recognized. And ladies and gentlemen, I introduced to us earlier our distinguished professor, Timothy Opola. But I've just been whispered to that Professor Opola is here representing his Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Kwara State, Mr. Kayode Alabi. Sir, you're very much welcome once again. I told you that Emeritus Professor Luke Edungbola delivered the 47th in the series of inaugural lectures of this university. Professor Paula delivered his as the 97th, and this is dated back to 2011. Thank you very much, sir. I recognize all our Gomino lecturers who are in the house this afternoon. If I should start to mention names, but we recognize all of you. Please, let's put our hands together for them. Thank you for coming around to support your own. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about why we're here. As I said earlier, 274 professors have been here earlier to deliver their inaugural lectures. And this is telling us that we should entertain no fear today, because the foundation upon which Professor Olaniyan is coming to build is such a very solid one. A very solid one in the sense that 274 professors, they come together, gauging the soil, the stones, getting water, the cement, everything to ensure this very solid foundation. And the lecture we are here to listen to today, ladies and gentlemen, though it is the 275th in the series, it is the 20th from the Faculty of Agriculture and the 5th from the Department of Agronomy. And of course, the lecture has been entitled Understanding Soils, the Bedrock of Man's Existence, and sustenance. What is this all about? That's why we're here to find out from Professor John Olajide Olaniyan. Well, I told you of that the university actually started in 1975, and ever since that 1975, the inaugural lecture of this university was actually delivered in the year 1979. And when you do your calculation very well, 1979 to this time, we're talking 46, I think 46, yes, years ago. The inaugural lecture was delivered. And to be precise, it was delivered on the 15th of February of the year 1979. And it was by one of our distinguished professors, one of the foundation fathers of this university, distinguished Professor Ladele Awobuli of the Department of Linguistics. That was in 1979. And he titled his lecture that year, The New National Policy on Education in Linguistics Perspectives. And ever since that very first lecture, our professors, they've been coming from time to time to build upon that foundation he laid. And after him, 273 other professors have come. And today, Professor Olaniyan is coming to be the 275 professor to do and to deliver his inaugural lecture. And I'd like to also welcome another distinguished professor from the faculty, Professor Bolu Steve. You're welcome, a former dean, faculty of, postgraduate school of the university. You're very much welcome, sir. We have the director, Ilorin Health Services, Dr. Rashid Adekeye Odola in the house. Dr. Odola, you're also very much welcome. You're welcome, sir. You're not clapping. You're not clapping. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to also let you know that we have in the house our former, our immediate past university librarian and currently the chairman, library and publications of this university, our distinguished professor, Abdul Wahab Olaniyan Isa. Sir, you're very much welcome. And walking majestically to his seat is a retired but not tired Baba also from the Faculty of Agric, Professor Gbadebo Olaoye, the former dean of the Faculty of Agriculture. Daddy, so good to see you. Retirement is sweet. Thank you. And yes, we are having our distinguished professors from the faculty joining us now. But ladies and gentlemen, the last time the Faculty of Agriculture brought all of us together like this was in November last year, 2024. And that was when we listened to the 19th lecture from the faculty. And it was from the Department of Animal Production. And you know, the lecturer of that day is also here with us. And I'm glad to introduce her to you. Professor Foluke Eunice Shola-Ojo. Professor Shola-Ojo, you're welcome. You are not clapping. You're still not clapping. You are not. So as far as inaugural lecture of this university is concerned, from the faculty, Professor Shola-Ojo handed the baton over to Professor Olaniyan. Thank you very much, Professor Shola-Ojo. I'd like to also recognize in our midst the presence of another distinguished professor from the faculty, in fact, a former dean of the faculty who has also been here to deliver his own inaugural lecture. And I'm talking of the man, at his mention, you think of romancing the chicken. Professor Job Ate, sir, good to see you. And sitting next to him is another distinguished professor from the Faculty of Agriculture and currently the chairman admissions of the university, Professor Abdulaziz Muhammad Lawal. You're welcome, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, because any moment from now, the procession of the Vice Chancellor, we're going to welcome the procession of the Vice Chancellor. But just before then, it is important that I introduce to you the woman beside, behind, at the front, everywhere, all around Professor Olaniyan's success. Talking the wife of the inaugural lecturer of today, Mrs. Janet Olanike Olaniyan. Ma, please rise, turn around, let them see you. This is the man always holding the fort at home when Prof is away. Thank you very much, ma. We appreciate you so much. Thank you for making it easy for Professor Olaniyan. And of course, she didn't do that all by herself, not without the support of the children. So, the children, I request that you stand up for recognition. Kindly stand up for recognition. Thank you. Turn around. Let them see you. Let them see you. You can see that face on their faces. Thank you very much. We also have the grandchildren around. You're also very much welcome. At the appropriate time, the Vice Chancellor will do more of the recognitions that we have to do here today. But you know, one very interesting thing about this is that many of your names have been included in the booklet, for the lecture. So when they are taking the booklet around, do yourself the good of getting a copy of it. You'll find your name in there. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're all very much welcome. It is the 275th in the series of inaugural lectures of our university. I'd like to welcome our former Vice Chancellor, Fountain University, Osogbo, and one of our distinguished directors here at the university, and in fact, from the Faculty of Agriculture, Professor Bashir Ademola Raji. You're welcome, sir. So once again, I greet our KBSC, I greet all the chiefs. I welcome His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Kwara State, and I welcome each and every one of you, and most especially from Igbomino land. We have them also from Ibadan because Prof also was in Ibadan, where he bagged all his degrees. Do we have anyone from Ibadan here? His colleagues in Ibadan, they are here. Oh, we have them here from University of Ibadan. Please, we have a seat for you here. Please come around, sir. Please, let's welcome him properly. Till he gets to his seat. It has a reason, because Ibadan is the mother university of Ilorin. You're welcome, sir. All the way from Ibadan, where we have Melambi, Kuti, Teda, Bello, all the halls. You're welcome, sir. I can see Professor Badmos there. Professor Badmos, you're welcome. All right. I told you university was established in 1975, and of course I've read out names of all of these vice chancellors who've been at the helm of affairs before now. I want to thank them very well, for all they did for the university. Starting with the first principal, Professor Tamunon, the first vice chancellor, Professor Akikugbe, the second vice chancellor, Professor Adeshola, The third Vice Chancellor, Professor Toye. The fourth, Professor Adeniyi Adeoye. The fifth, Professor Iloye. The sixth, Professor Abdurrahim. The seventh, Professor Amali. The eighth, Professor Loyede. The 11th, Professor Egbewali. They've done so well for this university, and they are still working so hard to ensure that this university remains, the university of choice for admission seekers. Let's talk about the faculty that brought all of us together. The Faculty of Agriculture of University of Ilorin was established in the year 1982-83 academic session of this university. So for a university that was established in 1975 and a faculty established 82-83, we will not be wrong to still say it is still one of the foundation faculties of the university. And so the university, the faculty has when it started, and the first set of students for the faculty in 83-84 academic session. And of course, the faculty has 5 degree programs at inception, which today has grown to be 8. And today we have currently the dean of the faculty, who is also from the same department as Professor Olaniyan, agronomy, superintends over 8 different departments. And they are the agricultural economics and farm management, agricultural extension and rural development, agronomy, animal production, crop protection, home economics and food science, forest resources management, and aquaculture and fisheries. These are the 8 departments that we have in the faculty. And of course, I can tell you, maybe by the time you come next, we are most likely to have had another department from the faculty, because we keep growing from time to time. And as we are also thanking and appreciating the efforts of all our vice chancellors in the past, we'll do well also to let you know that many of our distinguished professors and leaders in this university have manned the deanship affairs of the faculty affairs of the Faculty of Agriculture. And we have then Professor L.B. Olugbemi, who was the dean of the faculty between 83 and 85, Professor D.S. Adegboye, 85 to 89, Professor O.O. Balogun, 89 to 93, Professor J.O. Babatola, 93 to 97, Professor Aro Fadayomi, 97 to 2001, Professor J.O. Ate, 2001. Professor Ate is here. That's why I'm smiling. Are you clapping or you are not clapping for him? Thank you, sir. Professor Ate was there between 2001 and 2005. Professor K.L. Ayorinde, former Vice Chancellor, Thomas Adeomi and Kolada Isi University, was also there. He just retired, but he's not tired. I'm pretty sure if he's not here physically today, he'll be joining us virtually. Professor A.O. Motosho, Professor Montesson, immediate Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic. We had them like that till the current Dean of the faculty, Professor Luyemisi Fawale. Ladies and gentlemen, time will not permit me to reel out the names anymore. Shall we all rise as we welcome the procession of the Vice Chancellor? Please, no more movements. And do not stand in the way of the procession. And do not exchange pleasantries with the procession. Please remain standing as we observe the university anthem.
The Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Management Services, the Registrar, the University Librarian, the Provost, Deans and Directors of various faculties and units. Today we are gathered to listen to the 275th inaugural lecture titled Understanding Soils, the Bedrock of Man's Existence and Sustenance, to be delivered by Professor John Olajide Olaniyan of the Faculty of Agri. Professor John Olajide Olaniyan was born on 22nd September 1964 at Oroago in the Felodun local government area of Kwara State. He had his primary education at the Ekwa Primary School, Oyatedo, between 1971 and 1977. And from there, he proceeded to Playfair Memorial College, Oroago, for his secondary school education. He thereafter obtained his bachelor degree in agricultural science, soil science option at the University of Ibadan in 1990. Professor Olaniyan bagged his master's and PhD in soil science at University of Ibadan in the year 1992 and 2003, respectively. He joined the services of the University of Ilorin Department of Agronomy, Faculty of Agriculture as an assistant lecturer in 1995 and rose through the ranks to become a professor of soil science in 2021. Professor Olaniyan's research interests are in soil mapping and land suitability evaluation. Professor Olaniyan has over 40 publications in reputable home-based national and international journals, edited conference proceedings, and chapters in books. He has served as external examiner to many universities across Nigeria. He has also attended many conferences, workshops, and seminars. Professor Olaniyan has successfully supervised several undergraduate projects, 18 MSc dissertations, and 2 PhD theses. He has mentored and still mentoring numerous young Nigerians. He is a member of many learned and professional bodies such as Soil Science Society of Nigeria, Nigerian Institute of Soil Science, International Soil Tillage Research Organization, and International Union of Soil Science. He has served in various capacities within and outside university, which include Head Department of Agronomy 2017 to 1919, Departmental Postgraduate Coordinator 2014 to 2016, Departmental Coordinator Farm Practical Training 2003 to 2010, Departmental Examination Officer 1995 to 2006, Faculty Representative on Junior Staff Appointments and Promotions 2003 to 2007, Faculty Representatives of Faculty Board of Business and Social Sciences 1995 to 1998, Member Faculty of Agricultural Accreditation Committee 2011 to 2012, Chairman Union Plantation Committee 2023 to 2024, Member Teak Plantation Committee 2012 to 2015, Secretary Ilorin Paysetters MCS 2010 to 2013, Member Senate Research Committee on Identification of Source of Magnets in the University of Ilorin Dam Water 2007 to 2008, National Secretary, Olajide Development Union, Olajide 2013 to 2020, Church Secretary, Ekwa Church, Fate Tanke, Ilorin 2014 to 2020, Staff Advisor, Manowo Club University of Ilorin, among many others. Professor Olaniyan is happily married to Mrs. Janet Olaniyan, and the union is blessed with children. Let me, on behalf of all of us, welcome Professor John Olajide Olaniyan to deliver the 275th inaugural lecture.
Thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor, sir. Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academics, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Management Services, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Training and Innovation, the Registrar, the Bursar, the University Librarian, members of the University Governance Council, Provost of the College of Health Sciences, Deans of Faculties, Postgraduate School, and Student Affairs, especially Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, Directors, Heads of Departments, and in particular, Head of Agronomy, Professors, and other members of the Senate, members of staff, academic and non-staff, and non-academic, my dear wife and family, nuclear and extended, my Lord spiritual and temporal, Your Royal Highnesses, especially the Uluru of Urago Kingdom, the Folagbade of Uruland, and the High Chiefs here present, gentlemen, and the print and electronic media, my dear friends, students, and the Faculty of Agriculture, and others students here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, great Unilorites, the Vice Chancellor, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand humbly here before this distinguished gathering to present the 275th in the series of inaugural lectures on this great university on this day, March 6, 2025. This is the amount, this is the account of my journey in the path of academia, my research endeavors, and my contributions to societal development, which has culminated
into my appointment as professor of soil science with specializations. My specialization in pedology permit me to proceed in profound reverence to the Lord God Almighty in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues and fellow enthusiasts of the world, welcome to today's lecture on the enlightening realm of pedology and land management. The inaugural lecture of today is the fifth from the Department of Agronomy and the third from the Soil Science Unit of the department. Behind Professor J. Ogunwale, who presented in 2004 the sixth inaugural lecture titled The Land, the Beginning of the Sustainer at the End of Man on Earth, and the 242nd inaugural lectures recently presented in October 2023 by Professor O.B. Fawole and titled Intimate Strangers in Soil and Agricultural Sustainability. Today, we embark on a journey through the intricate world behind our feet, where the seemingly ordinary soil holds profound secrets and influence that shape our agricultural expertise, environmental sustainability, and the very foundation of our existence, the source of food. Today's lecture is titled Understanding Soils, the Bedrock of Man's Existence and their Sustenance. The Vice Chancellor, sir. In the realm of activities journey, surreptitious encounters often shape the tragedy of one's career. Allow me to share with you a short captivity tale that illuminates the profound impact of a climate, of a chance meeting, and the transformative power of mentorship. It was in the year 1986, during my second year at the Faculty of Agriculture at the University of Ibadan, when a friend, Kende Olowu, and I decided to switch from our allocated department in agriculture to agricultural economics. We were determined to pursue our passion for agriculture. But when we arrived at the Department of Agricultural Economics, we were met with disappointing news. There, we were informed that due to our background in physical science, talking courses like physics, chemistry, and mathematics, it would be impossible for us to be admitted into the Department of Agricultural Economics. We were thus advised to consider applying to the Department of Agricultural Engineering. Instead, feeling a bit dejected, my friend and I were on our way back when we unexpectedly crossed paths with a man who will become my lifelong mentor, Professor Ayo Ogunkunle. In a brief conversation with him, we shared our predicament. He responded by sharing that since we were already pursuing physical sciences course, he would gladly accept us into the field of soil science. And just like that, I found my way into the world of soil science. Fate seemed to be on my side because when the fourth set of examinations came around, I was fortunate enough to achieve the highest score with an impressive 87%. Coincidentally, the course was taught by none other than Professor Ogunkunle himself. Excited by my result, he sought me out to offer his congratulations, but to his disappointment, I had already returned home to assist my parents with our family farming tradition. When I eventually met him again after the holiday, Professor Ogunkunle expressed his regret for not being able to present me with a prize he had planned. However, he warmly shook my hand and told me that I had a promising future in soil science. He suggested that I consider joining him for this research project, an opportunity that I wholeheartedly embarked. And just like that, my journey into the fascinating world of pedology began. I am truly humbled to stand before you today, molded by the opportunities. Through this influence and the grace of God, I stand here prepared to explore the boundless potential of pedology and land evaluation. To everyone present here today, I extend my heartfelt thanks for joining me on this auspicious occasion. Let us embark on a journey of discovery where the secrets beneath our feet unfold and guide us toward our future of sustainability, sustainable land use, and stewardship. Together, let us enhance the transformative power of soil and remember possibilities within its complex ecosystem. Over the courses of this lecture, I will embark on a journey of discovery, uncover the fundamental concepts of pedology and its direct implication on land management practices, explore how soil erosion, fertility, and structure impact agricultural productivity and environmental sustainability, and examine case studies and research findings that illuminate the practical application of soil science in real-world scenarios. Furthermore, I will also delve into the existing realm of advances in soil survey techniques, explore emergency technologies such as remote sensing, GIS, and data-driven approaches that revolutionize soil mapping and monitoring. Before these techniques, my colleagues and I embarked on surface using manual approaches that entailed deploying posts and lines in thick bushes. These were very tedious and dangerous days, to say the least. I will discuss the challenges we face and the political and potential solutions that lie ahead, emphasizing the importance of interdisciplinary collaboration and knowledge exchange. The basis for my research was established in the early 90s when, at the University of Ibadan, under the guidance of Professor A.O. Ogunkunle, I assessed the variations in the major University of Ibadan soils in Olaniyan, 1992. Some of my other early research includes the assessment of the contribution of organic matter to cation exchange capacity in Lebu soils, Nigeria, in 1998, and a detailed soil survey of the University Farm, University of Ilorin, in 2000. I was appointed an assistant lecturer at the University of Ilorin in 1995. Before this, I had a brief stint as a land use planning officer and a project manager of Elebu project site at the National Agricultural Land Development Authority, Kwara State Directorate in Ilorin. There, I was saddled with the land clearing of 4,000 hectares, partitioning this into 4-hectare units and allocating them to the farmers who practiced a form of togria farming, planting cashew or the tree crop with groundnut and maize as legume and cereal. All inputs were supplied by NADA, and the produce was produced by NADA. It was from this platform that I switched to my zeal to continue to societal development through research and teaching. And although the existence has not been a smooth one all the way, it has been fulfilling and has culminated in the success of today. The Vice Chancellor, sir. In my capacity as a soil scientist, I would like to emphasize that soil is not just dirt, but rather a crucial natural resource similar to crude oil, because it dissolves that makes that man was formed from dust. The biblical illusion in Genesis 2:7 emphasizes that close relationship between soil and life. Some early definitions of soil science term it as the outer layer of the Earth's crust, which is quite narrow and leaves out information on the origins and purposes of soil. Within this lecture, I adopt Brady and Will's 2002 broad definition, which characterizes soil as a dynamic collection of natural bodies on the surface of the earth that fosters plant growth and modifies is modified by climate, living things, parent material, and topography over time. The atmosphere, biosphere, and hydrosphere all have complex interactions with the pedosphere, that is the soil environment, which together shape the ecosystem to address global issues like hunger, poverty, environmental pollutions, and the negative effects of climate change. It is crucial to acknowledge the crucial role that soil plays. Land evaluation. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, at the heart of sustainable land resources, ultimate utilization lies the discipline of land evaluation, a systematic discipline to describe the suitability of specific parcels of land for various purposes, particularly agriculture. In Nigeria, the practice of land evaluation dates back to the colonial era. In 1930s, soil surveys by the Department of Agriculture was aimed at identifying fertile land for cash crops like cocoa, groundnut, and cotton. This surveys provided baseline data essential for land management, serving as the foundation for sustainable development in soil science and agricultural policy. Post-independence, the forces broadened with national soil survey conducted by institutions such as the Federal Department of Agricultural Land and the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture in 2017. The modern advances in land evaluation. The integration of digital soil mapping, GIS, and remote sensing technologies has revolutionized land evaluation in recent decades. These tools have enhanced the precision of soil assessment, allowing for the detailed mapping of soil variability and better matching of land characteristics with crop requirements. Research efforts now emphasizes agroecological zoning, which optimizes land use based on a combination of soil properties, climate conditions, and socio-economic factors. Ajala in 2002. Land evaluation has been pivotal in shaping agricultural development in Nigeria. It has informed large-scale projects such as the River Basin Development Authority and facilitated the promotion of integral soil fertility management. Ajiboye, Olaniyan, and Ogunkunle, 2006. By identifying suitable lands for diverse agricultural activities, these evaluations have contributed significantly of cropping to food security and rural development. For instance, recent studies have guided the diversification of cropping systems in Nigeria's semi-arid regions, enhancing resilience against climate variability and land degradation. University of Ilorin Land Evaluation. In 2017, Olaniyan undertook a comprehensive evaluation of 9,000 hectares of land surrounding the University of Ilorin campus, leveraging modern techniques like remote sensing and GIS. We identified 8 distinct mapping units across various terrains. This assessment revealed varying levels of sustainability for crops and such as maize, cassava, and soybeans. The study's findings have since informed land use planning on the campus, demonstrating the tangible benefits of integrated scientific rigor into land management. By examining the formation, classification, and mapping of soils, pedologists contribute invaluable insights to sustainable land management. In this digital age, the marriage of technologies and agriculture has given rise to digital agronomic advisory system. Thus, this innovative platforms leverage data analytics, artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML, to produce farmers with real-time data-driven insights that offer recommendations on crop management practices, pest control, irrigation, and nutrient application, tailored to specific soil and water conditions. These systems are built on data acquired through soil surveys and land evaluation. Some of the importance of agronomist advisory systems is sustainable crop production are highlighted below. The first one is precision farming. 2, resource efficiency. 3, risk mitigation. 4, data-driven discussion making. 5, environmental stewardship. 6, accessibility. To safeguard the nexus between soils, ecosystem, and the environment, conservation and sustainability sustainable soil management practices are imperative. This involves adaptive agricultural techniques that prioritize soil health, afforestation efforts to restore degraded areas, and policies that promote responsible land use. And the application of soil science in real-world scenario, my contributions. Team 1, soil properties and their management. Study 1, an evaluation of the soil map of Nigeria. 1, cartographic accuracy. Like most soil maps over all of the world, the accuracy of lands of the soil map of Nigeria produced by the FDLR in 1990 is not known. These studies, case studies 1 and 2, we are undertaken to provide information on the accuracy of the soil map. The minimum legible area, MLA, of the map was 4,000 hectares, which implies that a land area smaller than this cannot be represented properly on the map. It also has a maximum location accuracy of 250 meters. Thus, in transferring a point from the map to the land, an error of not less than 25% is involved. Hence, the area occupied on paper by the map is too wide, as indicated by an average size delineation ASD of 4.08 to 10.29 cm. Index of maximum reduction IMR of 3.19 to 5.07. Applicable scale of reduction MSR of 1.3 million to 1.5 million. However, the map scale may not need to be reduced if more mapping units are separated at the present scale. The result of this study should generate fresh interest in the quality of soil maps being produced globally. Olaniyan and Ogunkunle, 2007. Assessment of soil map accuracy in Kwara State. Soil maps are critical tools for agricultural planning, but their utility depends on accuracy. Our study evaluated the FDLR soil map of Kwara State, examining durability across key soil properties such as organic matter, pH, and cation exchange capacity. Olaniyan Ogunkunle 2007. Statistical measures reveal significant heterogeneity with mapping units with available phosphorus exhibiting the highest variability, CV of 23.9 to 181.05%. The results highlighted the limitations of existing soil maps, calling for their refinement to improve predictive accuracy and land use planning efficiency. This study underscores the importance of precision in soil characterization to enhance agricultural decision-making and resource allocation. Olaniyan and Ogunkunle, 2007. Land suitability for cashew production in Niger State. The Kusoji land, a 500-hectare sandstone-derived soils, was assessed for its suitability for cashew contribution. The study identified major constraints, including low calcium levels and poor drainage, affecting 86.4% and 13.6% of the land respectively. Olaniyan and Ogunkunle, 2006. Management recommendations such as liming and improved drainage system were proposed to elevate land suitability from marginal to optimal. This case study illustrates how trapped interventions based on land evaluation can enhance agricultural productivity and land suitability, ensuring economic and environmental benefits. Olaniyan and Ogunwale, 2006. Soil characterization and management of Kampeomi River Basin. 6 soil profiles from the Kampeomi River Basin were analyzed, revealing predominantly sandy to sandy loam textures, strongly acidic to neutral pH levels, and low organic carbon content in subsurface horizons. Nutrient deficiency, particularly in phosphorus, necessitated management strategies involving organic amendments and crop residue retention to maintain fertility. These findings emphasize the need for continuous organic matter input and balanced fertilizer application to sustain soil healthy, thereby supporting intensive agriculture in the region. Ajiboye, Jayoba, Olaniyan, and Olaniyan, 2012. Soil types and fertilizer response in the Southern Guinea Savannah. This study explored how soil types derived from sandstone and basement complex materials influence maize response to fertilizer under varying precipitation regimes. Sandstone-derived soils showed better fertilizer response under high rainfall, while basement complex soils responded optimally under moderate soils rainfall. These findings demonstrate the crucial role of soil survey data in predicting crop performance, advocating for self-specific nutrient management to optimize yields and ensure sustainable land use. Team 2, soil pollution and water quality. Study 1, copper in water soil plant relations. This study examined copper contamination along the Asa River in Ilorin, Nigeria. Asa River serves both as industrial disposal and agricultural irrigation, making it a critical water source for vegetation production. Results revealed copper concentrations in river water, soil, and plant tissues exceeded safe limits, with plant tissues Cu copper reaching 81.83 milligram per kilogram in Coccolus oleiterus. The findings underscore the food chain toxicity risks posed by heavy metal contamination, threatening human health throughout dietary exposure. Ahamifule, Fatola, Olaniyan, Amusa, FTE, and so on. Study 2, assessment of water quality for irrigation and along Asa River. Heavy metal concentrations in Asa River water, calcium, lead, zinc, and cadmium were analyzed, revealing values above permissible limits set by FEPA and WHO. Sediment analysis also showed elevated levels implicating industrial and domestic effluents in primary sources. The poor water quality impairs soil health, reducing microbial activity and nutrient transformation. This potential transfer heavy metals to crops, increased cancer risk for consumer. This highlights the urgent need for pollution control measures to protect public health and agricultural productivity. Ajala, Olaniyan, Ahamifule, and Afini. Source identification of iron and manganese pollution in University of Ilorin Dam. This research investigated iron and manganese pollution in the University of Ilorin Dam. High concentrations above WHO permissible limits were attributed to both natural and anthropogenic sources. Principal component analysis highlighted the need for targeted pollution control of resource water to restore water quality for safe drinking and ecosystem health. Effect of spent engine oil contamination in soybean in an ultrasound. An experimental study assessed the impact of spent engine oil (SPO) on soil properties and soybean growth. Results showed several decline in soil infiltrations, titles, and hydraulic conductivity under 3% SPO contamination. Soybean germination rates fell significantly through moderate contamination, 1% SPO, unexpectedly boosted leaf area and yield. This highlights that dual threats of soil degradation and crop toxicities from oil pollutants with long-term consequences for soil functionality and agricultural productivity. Ahamefule, Olaniyan, Ama, Efeti, Ehem, and Nwokocha. These studies illustrate the critical need for integrated pollution management strategies to safeguard soil and water quality, addressing heavy metal and organic pollution will not only enhance environmental sustainability, but also protect public health with its attendant needs of hospital visits and cost implications, if not death, and ensure agricultural resilience. Sorry. Miscellaneous soil studies. 1. Comparing traditional and modern soil conservation approaches in Nigeria. The review examined the efficacy of traditional and modern soil conservation practices in Nigeria, especially under climate change premises. While traditional modern methods like stone lines and shifting cultivation remain popular due to their significant simplicity and familiarity, their specific validation is limited. Conversely, modern approaches such as agroforestry and plastic mulching have demonstrated clear benefits but are less accessible due to cost and technical demands. The study emphasizes that sustainable soil conservation requires integrating local knowledge with modern innovations supported by legislation to curb harmful activities like sand mining. The findings advocate for adaptive strategies tailored to local consents to mitigate climate impacts on soil productivity. Ahamefule, Efeti, Amana, Olaniyan, and so on. Biochar application of carbon dioxide emission in upland rice production. 5 experiments investigated the impact of varying biochar activities rates on carbon dioxide emission in different soil types under upland rice cultivation in the southern Guinea savanna. Results show that carbon dioxide emission increased with higher biochar rates, with the highest emissions resulted in gross arenik land use topsoils. However, the percentage of biochar C mineralized was higher at lower application rates, indicating more efficient carbon sequestration at higher rates. This study highlights biochar's potential to enhance soil quality while contributing minimally to greenhouse gas emissions, underscoring its role in sustainable soil management. Olaniyan in 2020. Soil and land use effects on weed distribution on Nigeria's Guinea savanna. This study explored the relationship between soil properties, land use, and weed distribution, sampling across crossed and non-cropped plants revealed that soil texture, nutrient content, such as nitrogen, potassium, and magnesium, and land use practices significantly influence weed diversity and abundance. The findings suggested that targeted soil and land management can effectively control weed populations, reducing competitions with crops and improving yields. This research highlights the importance of understanding soil vegetation interactions to optimize land use and agricultural productivity. These studies underscore the importance of integrated and context-specific approaches in soil conservation, carbon management, and weed control. Evaluating key environmental and soil factors influencing the sustainability of typical Nigerian soils for crop cultivation. In my sojourn study, Nigerian soils in the past few decades, I have encountered salient recurrent factors that limit the optimal functioning of agricultural lands for crop production. This cut across agroecological zones and regions, and I will talk about them under three broad headings. Influence of water. Thank you, sir. In my journey, okay, influence of weather cycles on sustainable crop production in Nigeria. Nigeria experienced two main seasons, the wet season and the rainy season. Rainfall patterns within these seasons vary across the country, shaping distinct agroecological zones. The North Savannah receives less rain, favoring drought-resistant crops like sorghum and millet. In contrast, the southern rainforest enjoys abundant rainfall, nurturing cocoa, yam, and oil palm. To mitigate the effects, adopting climate resilient variants that are better suited to the changing conditions is critical. Improving water management practices such as rainwater harvesting and efficient irrigation can enhance water availability. Agroforestry, cover cropping, and conservation agriculture are some of the practices we have discovered to contribute to soil health and resilience. 2. Organic matter composed of plant and animal residues acts like a magic potion for soils. It improves water retention, promotes nutrient cycling, and fosters beneficial soil organisms. However, many Nigerian soils suffer from low organic matter content due to factors like intensive farming practices, erosion, and buying of crop residues. This process is a significant challenge, limiting the sustainability of land for many crops and hindering optimal productivity. The good news is that we can restore organic matter and unlock the full potential of our soils. Practices like composting, cover cropping, and mulching add organic matter back into the soil, improving its structure and fertility. Plinthite. One very common and recurring soil feature in my practice over the years is the occurrence of plinthite. Yongi. Plinthite is a type of soil arising in or layer that is characterized by the accumulation of iron and aluminum oxides. It forms in tropical and subtropical climates, particularly in areas with seasonal waterlogging. Plinthite develops because of the alternating wetting and drying cycles in the soil. This process involves the following steps: wetting and oxidation, drying and reduction, hard palms. Plinthite does not affect agricultural product alone. The presence of plinthite can have implications for building structures. The hard and dense nature of plinthite poses challenges for construction, particularly in areas where it is prevalent. Building foundations may need special consideration and engineering solutions to account for the characteristics of plinthite, ensuring stability and durability as a common example. The wetting we sometimes notice on the lower parts of the surface of houses walls is a result of a restriction of downward movement, most time caused by plinthite, because the water is unable to seep downward. It is absorbed by the walls of such buildings, thereby impacting their structures, their structural system over time. Advances in soil evaluation techniques. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the field of technology is a rigorous profession because the risk of trespassing thick bushes and forests during soil survey. There are also emerging security threats in the aspects of the safety of life in our society today. This make improved approaches, techniques of assessing soil properties in the field more important. Soil analysis provides valuable information for making informed decisions regarding soil management practices. And over the years, advances in analytical techniques have significantly enhanced our ability to assess soil health, nutrient availability, and environmental risks. Access to advanced soil analysis techniques is emerging technologies remains limited for researchers in Nigeria, underscoring the need for increased funding to enhance institutional capacity. However, commendations are due to the management of the University of Ilorin for its steady progress in investing in research capacity. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I implore you to keep enhancing research capacity at the Better by Far University in order to propel revolutionary institutional transformation throughout the Nigeria higher education side. Challenges and future directions. Despite the significant advancement in soil survey and land evaluation as well as land management, several challenges persist and warrant attention for future research under practice. Addressing these challenges is crucial to ensuring sustainable soil management and enhances land productivity. Urbanization and land use charges pose another significant challenges, leading to the loss of fertile land, soil compaction, and increased pollution as the city expands. Balancing urban development with agricultural sustainability is critical. I sincerely hope that these recommendations will be considered for implementing, as they will contribute significantly to both the university's academic mission and the well-being of the surrounding communities. 1. Climate change impacts. 2. Soil degradation and erosion. 3. Urbanization and land use changes. 4. Soil assessment. 5. Digital agriculture and processing farming. Recommendations. The Vice Chancellor, sir, I would like to recommend some solutions, particularly in the face of climate change, soil degradation, and rapid urbanization. 1. Investment in Research focuses on climate change, climate resistant soil management practices. 2. Organize workshops and training programs for farmers and policy makers. 3. Establish demonstration farms within the university to showcase suitability land management. 4. Collaboration with meteorological agencies. 5. Play a critical role in tackling the challenging of soils. 6. Implement community outreach programs to educate farmers and landowners on erosion control measures. 7. Educate research on organic soil matter restoration technique. 8. Collaboration with government agencies and environmental organizations. 9. Conduct impact assessments on urban expansion and providing evidence-based policy. 10. Help mitigate the negative effects of urbanization on soil health. Research, personal reflection. As I am about to conclude this lecture, I want to share a personal experience that has profoundly shaped my perspective. Recently, I faced a serious illness that posed a significant threat on my career and by extension to my life, which has affected my speech to an extent till now, sir. This period of adversity was a true test of resilience and determination. There were moments of doubt and uncertainty, but through this journey, I learned invaluable lessons about perseverance and the strength of the human spirit. This support I received from my family, colleagues, and students were instrumental to my recovery. This experience underscored the importance of community and the powerful impact of having a strong support system in both personal and professional spheres. My illness had given me a renewed appreciation for the work we do. It has reminded me of the profound implications of our research and teaching, and it has inspired me to approach my endeavors with even greater passion and dedication. I hope that by sharing this story, I inspire others. As we continue our activity pursuit, let us remember that the challenges we face can lead to growth and renewed purposes. I will always be indebted to God for the opportunities and blessings that have molded my life, for his advice and supervision during my undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral studies. Professor Gukuli has my sincere thanks. Conclusion. The conclusion of this inaugural lecture is that pedology and land management played critical roles in understanding and sustainably utilizing our previous land resources. Soil analysis techniques have significantly advanced our knowledge of soil properties, nutrient dynamics, microbial communities, and the impact of land management practices. Throughout this lecture, we have explored key concepts in pedology, the importance of effective land management, and the advancements in soil analytic techniques. Acknowledgement. First, my sincere gratitude goes to God, the giver of life, for the gift of knowledge and wisdom, especially as I mark this milestone. May his name be praised forever. First of all, I sincerely thank the dynamic and hardworking Vice Chancellor, University of Ilorin, Professor Wahab Olashupo Egbewole, SAN, for giving me the opportunity to deliver this inaugural lecture. I sincerely thank Professor Adegboyega Adisa Fawole, DVC Management Services, Professor Mujisola Odunola Bakari, DVC Academic, Professor Mukhtar Etudaye, DVC Research Technology and Innovation, Mr. Mansour Adeleke Afanla Diri Bosa, and other management staff of this university for this honor. I appreciate the chairman, Library and Publications Committee for his moral support and for editing of this inaugural lecture. I also appreciate the dean, the entire staff and students of the Faculty of Agriculture, University of Ilorin. I appreciate the comradeship of our elders and our colleagues in the Department of Agriculture. I want to appreciate my dear parents, Mr. David Olaniyan Dada of blessed memory, and my darling aged mother, Mrs. Abigail Abioye Olaniyan, while my 93-year-old mommy is still on. I appreciate you so much for assisting me, for raising me in a loving environment, and for all your investments in training me, apart from tutoring me from primary school to the doctorate level. You included me the core values of hard work, contentment, humility, patience, and discipline, among others. You are blessed parents. My sincere appreciation goes to my extended family, Mrs. Olawumi Adeniyi, Mrs. Bosede Ashipa, Mrs. Funke Shangotoye, Mr. Olushola Olaniyan, Mrs. Bumi Aichi, and Mr. Tunji Olaniyan. You are all wonderful. I would like to thank my esteemed colleagues and researchers in the field of pedology and soil science generally. Their groundbreaking work and insightful decisions have served as an inspiration for this lecture. I'm grateful for their contribution to advancing our understanding of soil science and its practical applications. My sincere appreciation goes to the funding agencies and institutions that have supported research endeavors. Their financial support and resources have played a crucial role in conducting the studies that from the foundation of this lecture. Without their assistance, this lecture would not have been possible. Furthermore, I would like to express my deep gratitude to the participants and students who have engaged in meaningful discussions and provided valuable insights. Their enthusiasm for learning and their thoughtful questions have greatly enriched the lecture. I'm indebted to the authors and the publications referenced throughout this lecture. Their comprehensive research and scholarly contributions have served as a reliable source of information, keeping the structure and content of this presentation. Their dedication to advancing pedology and land management is commendable. I am deeply grateful to all those who have played a role, big or small, in the development and delivery of this lecture. Their collective efforts have contributed to the success, and I am honored to have had the opportunity to share my knowledge and insights in the field of pedology, soil survey, and land management to my wife, Mrs. Janet O. Olaniyan are my children. Iyanoluwa, Aboluwa, Olaoluwa, Taiwo, and Kende Olaniyan. I really appreciate my grandchildren, Lois, Adefaramola, and Eliel Adefolakumi. I feel fulfilled to have had and continue to have your love and support over the years. It is this support that has fueled my achievements over the years, and I am grateful to you. Thank you. The Vice Chancellor, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you again for being part of this memorable occasion. Thank you. Thank you.
Once again, on behalf of all of us, we want to congratulate Professor John Olajide Olaniyan, who has just delivered the 275th inaugural lecture of our university titled Understanding Soils, the Bedrock of Man's Existence and Sustenance. Congratulations. Wish to acknowledge and appreciate a few of our guests. We start with our university scholars. Thank you for coming. We appreciate Emeritus Professor of the Basic Medical Sciences, Professor Luke Edumbola, and former Deputy Vice Chancellor, University of Ilorin. We appreciate the presence of Professor Bashir Ademola Raji, former Vice Chancellor of Fountain University. We appreciate former Member of Council, Dr. Rashid Adeke Odunla, former Member of Council, Professor T.O. Okwola, and Professor J.O. Ate. We also want to specially recognize His Excellency, Deputy Governor of Kwara State, Mr. Kayode Alabi, who is ably represented here today by Professor Timothy Okwola. Thank you, Your Excellency. We recognize specially His Royal Majesty, Oba Evangelist John Tafa Olarewaju Dada, the Ilorin of Olajide and his chiefs, RBC. We appreciate the presence of President Olajide Development Union, Geologist Ayoku Olawole. Thank you for coming, sir. Colonel Oladele Babajamu, retired. Thank you for coming. Professor Folabi Tunde, we appreciate your presence. Our clergyman, Reverend O.O. Omashebi, Reverend J.J. Terry, Reverend Sherry Lewa, Prophet Ogunbi, Elder J.O. Bakari, and Pastor Mrs. Olarewaju. We thank you for coming. We recognize and appreciate our participants that are online. We especially appreciate Professor Owe Motosho, immediate past Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic. Thank you for coming. We also acknowledge Professor Mokhtar Etudaye, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Technology and Innovation. We want to recognize and appreciate the mentor of the inaugural lecturer, Professor Ogunkunle. Thank you for attending this and mentoring our inaugural lecturer today. We appreciate and thank God for the life of Mama, Mrs. Abigail Abioye Olaniyan. Ẹ kú oríire àgbàdalẹ̀. Ẹ ṣé màmá. A dúpẹ́. The children of inaugural lecturer, Dr. and Mrs. Oladipo, Mr. and Mrs. John Olaniyan, Olaoluwa Olaniyan, Tayelolu Olaniyan, Omokainde Olaniyan. The grandchildren, Adefaramola Oladipo and Adefolakunmi Oladipo. Especially we recognize the wife of the inaugural lecturer, Mrs. Janet Olanike Olaniyan. Congratulations. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we thank you all for coming for this 275th inaugural lecture of our university.
Shall we all rise for the university anthem? Thank you very much for being a part of the 275th in the series of inaugural lectures of the University of Ilorin. Thank you very much. Please remain where you are for the Vice Chancellor's procession to recess. The VC's procession to be followed by the university scholars. Let's allow KBC and our chiefs then the immediate family of the inaugural lecturer, the wife, the children, the grandchildren, and Mama,